Hey there, crafty friends. It's Tina from the Scrappin Rabbit blog. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. In this video, we are going to be creating a couple autumn-themed cards using some fabulous products from the Scrappy Tales Crafts shop. I really enjoyed making these cards, and so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be using these products. This first one here is the Slimline Staircase Pop-Up Metal Die, and you get these fabulous sentiments. The second set here is the Fall Assorted Leaves, and lastly, this Slimline cover plate die that's called the Tiki Pattern cover plate. The first thing we're going to do is grab some mini distress inks in the colors of Fired Brick, Spiced Marmalade, and Fossilized Amber, some great fall colors. I wanted to have more vibrant colors. In my last video, I used Distress Oxides with some craft paper, and I liked the muted effect, but this time I wanted the colors to be more vibrant, so I went for my mini inks. Now, as you can see, I am just adding little blotches of color because I want these to be the background for my leaves. So these are the two dies that I chose from the set, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those out once I get a lot of color put down on this paper. So just as you can tell, I am not doing anything special. I'm just blotching the colors down, adding a mix of the three colors, and look at how fabulous they turned out. I wanted to add even a richer tone, so I went ahead and added even more ink. That is Maui, my conure, chirping in the background, if you're wondering what that noise is. I'm not recording from my usual craft space today. I'm downstairs working, and so my little bird is going to be making some noise in the background. So here you see me blotching more and more color onto these leaves so that I have that more rich and vibrant look. And I really love how these turned out. So simple, so quick, so easy. And as you can tell, I wasn't taking care to really do anything. I'm just adding color all over these die cuts. So I went ahead and cut out a rectangle the size of the Tiki Slimline background plate. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it. At this point, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I figured, I just want to add some color in the corner of the card because I really want those leaves to pop. So in the same order, the red, the orange, and the yellow, I'm just smoothing on a couple layers here of this color to try to get that same effect from the leaves onto the side of what's going to be my base layer for my card. So here is the die. It is a little bit shorter than the traditional Slimline, so I went ahead and cut it out, and look at how fantastic it looks. I'm going to add some gold sparkle using a palette that is from my stash, and I'm just adding a little spritz of water into that one gold color. And I'm going to grab a paintbrush and add some of that gold sparkle. Now I know this die was intended to be for summer, that whole tiki type of a theme. When I look at it, I don't necessarily see that. I feel like it's a very versatile, and you could use it for any kind of a textured background. And I think that it works very well with this fall themed card. And so there you have a die that you can use for multiple themes. I wanted to add some of that reactive distress look with the water, so I'm going to dab that off in the corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab one more splatter. It's this Perfect Pearls Mist that's in a darker type of a gold, and so I'm adding those splatters across the card base as well. So I'm going to let that dry, and I really love the way that it turned out. The little shimmer just really gives it that extra special touch. So now I'm just going to add the leaves to my splatter box so that I can add some splatter to them so that they have a little bit more of that natural imperfect look. So I have my water, and I'm going to add a little splatters of water on there and then dab those off with my paper towel. And I also wanted to get a little shimmer on there, so I grabbed that Perfect Pearls Mist. And I was having a hard time getting the splatters to land on the leaves, so I just decided to go ahead and put that spray back on there and then just give them a spritz. And I feel like that gave it the best look. The Fall Assorted Leaves die have these fabulous layers to coordinate with the leaves. So I grabbed the little vine-shaped layers and cut them out with some gold mirror cardstock. I feel like those coordinate wonderfully with these fall colors, and I'm going to go ahead and glue those down onto my leaf die cuts. So originally I went ahead and just glued them down, and I thought those look fantastic. And then when I was gluing the second one on, I realized I really wanted the stems to have the die cut. I didn't want the gold on the stems. So easy peasy, all I did was grab some scissors and trim the bottom part off. And I liked the way that that looked better for this card. So I went ahead and went back to my other die cut, trimmed that off, and then trimmed that off on all of my layers, that little stem, so that the color would show through on the bottom portion of the leaves. And then I went ahead and glued all of those layers onto each one of my leaves. I did cut out a few of those smaller size leaves as well. And then I went on to choose the sentiment. So I went ahead and grabbed the Thankful die and the Grateful die. There are so many ways that you can coordinate these sentiments, and I just decided to go with a single word. So I cut them out using some white cardstock and some of that same gold mirror cardstock. And I was going to initially make the sentiment gold, and I just kind of played around with it and decided that I wanted the white to go on the top and have the gold kind of trimming it underneath. So you had a little bit of that gold accent, but it wasn't completely dominated with the gold. I felt like that would stand out better on my card bases. Love the way that that looks, and you can tilt, when I tilt it, you can see how you have that gold peeking out from underneath, just enough to give it some of that definition of that shadow layer beneath it. And I just love how that turned out. So now I'm going to grab my card base that I cut to match the same size as that cover plate die, and I'm going to glue that down with some liquid glue. So I was kind of second guessing myself. I was, wait, maybe I want the color at the top of the card. Do I want the color at the bottom of the card? Again, I don't even know the card design at this point. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. I went ahead and stuck with my original idea of that color on the bottom, kind of like a pile of fall leaves. And once I just smooth that down with my bone folder to give it a nice seal on my card base, it is ready to go. So here's the fun part, putting it all together. I went ahead and added some glue to the bottom of my sentiment dies and just trying to find the proper placement right over the top of the color. I felt like it really popped. And then now to add the leaves. So I'm just placing the leaves around, not exactly knowing how they're going to look. And then I kind of decided to maybe have like a trail of leaves falling from the sky down into the bottom pile there where the ink blended corner is. And so I'm just using some liquid glue. This is going to be a mostly flat card, easy for mailing. And just using my liquid glue again to get those down onto the card base. I really love that cross-hatch look on that background panel. Again, it doesn't have to be a summer theme. I think that it's generic enough that you can use it as a pattern backdrop for most card designs, and I really felt like it added the right texture and the right look for this card. So finally, I'm going to grab some gold sparkly sequins from my stash, and I'm just going to figure out how many to place on there and what I'm going to do. Again, this is the first card that I did, so I'm just kind of laying it down with the glue. I went for 3 sequins to give it that nice odd number. Same with the leaves, the 5 leaves. And that completes my first card. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so that the whole card can show in the frame. And that is the finished first card. So those of you who know me, I like to do more than one card. So off camera, I went ahead and finished the second one. And here's the second one using the sentiment Grateful. So they're the same design, 2 different sentiments, a different way to stretch the use of your dies. And I really love the way that they turned out with the bolder colors of the Distress inks versus the oxide. I hope I have inspired you to create some fall and autumn themed cards of your own. I think these are going to be great to send as happy Thanksgiving cards to some friends and family. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you like this video. I hope you have a great day. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.